are these people?
This was the one that I teased, and I did a little clickbaity stuff. Yes, I'm guilty. I used the name Elon Musk Derangement Syndrome. And is it? I don't think it is. This is out of Sludge. You can't really see it, but it says Sludge up there, sludge.com, or readsludge.com. Truly independent. They chase the money. So where did Elon Musk spend his money? They say he spent over $250 million to elect Trump, but it was a lot more than just elect Trump that he got out of this. And that's the reason why I brought this and I wanted to do this. This is David Moore. I'm sorry, Donald Shore and David Moore together. They run Sludge, the two of them. It's just a two-person operation. All right. So that's that famous photo down in Pennsylvania in Butler, the site of the ketchup incident. All right. But the first thing is that he gave nearly $120 million to his pro-Trump America PAC just in the final weeks of the campaign, according to a new FEC filing. So that the new filing, the final election filings just came out. Right? Have you heard about this? Did you hear about this?
How did we miss that?
How did we miss that? All right. Elmo donated at least, all right, $264 million since July. Yeah, that's cool. That's just the super PACs that spent money backing his election, according to FEC filings. And that includes the just filed post-general reports that covers the period from right through the general, right through the 3 weeks after, where they're not really spending as much other than to try to influence the places where the things are still to be decided. They want to change narrative, change perception. But during that post-general period, he put an additional $119.9 million into that super PAC that he created in May. Most of that money was given directly by Musk, while another $40 million was given by, he's a fucking troll too. He created a company, all right, that was the name on the checks of the winners that he staged this fake petition that he sent to people. You're going to win this lottery for $1 million.
Right.
$40.8 million. The company was called United States of America, Inc. How do you get away with that? Like, people think that they're getting it from the government because it's coming from the United States of America, Inc. It's a lottery. It must be real. Yeah, Dr. Evil Noises is right. We should be hearing that right now. So the FEC filing specifies that the United States of America, Inc. money is attributable to Musk, which brings his total given to the group to $240 million, just shy of. Right? Wow. But he starts spreading it around elsewhere, and here's where it went. And this is what I also thought was interesting. When you spend that kind of money, where does it go? I mean, a lot of it, I'm sure, is going to go for ads and for creative. But the PAC spent heavily on door-to-door canvassing operations for the campaign. Like, how much were you paying people to canvass? It might be another way of, kind of money laundering. I mean, I don't know. That's total speculation, but a ton of money, again, a couple of $100 million, and you're buying canvassers, door-to-door canvassers. How many canvassers can you buy with $1 million, for example? All right. The super PAC was initially seeded with funding from allies like billionaire Silicon Valley investor Doug Leone and Musk's confidant Joe Lonsdale, who's the VC. And he's the co-founder of a little company called Palantir with Peter Thiel. Oh yeah, that too. No big deal. But it was also revealed by an FEC filing posted yesterday evening that Musk provided the entirety of funding behind RBG PAC. All right, you ready for this one?
Okay.
He gave $20.5 million to the group on October 24th.
20 and half.
The next day, it begins running ads invoking the name of Ruth Bader Ginsburg to say that Trump would oppose a federal abortion ban, and that Trump and RBG shared a position on the matter because RBG was
He probably got one of those action figures.
Bro. Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's really funny. He probably did a bunch of them for how much? $20 million worth of ads to try to brainwash people. And not brainwash, but to reinforce the point that RBG was anti-abortion and and would oppose a federal abortion ban. All right. So therefore, would not allow it to become the law of the land that that abortion would be legal, at least by the state. And he's always been a let the states decide kind of guy when it came to that. Which means the entire South says no, and the entire North says yes for now, until they get the real conservatives in those state governments. Now, Musk was the single largest donor to a super PAC called Maha Alliance, founded in early September. All right, here's another super PAC again. Thanks, Citizens United. All right. It's a name, of course, made in reference to the Make America Healthy Again slogan of Booby Kennedy Jr., who endorsed Trump for president in August. So now they all came up with this whole marketing slogan. And how much did he end up putting into the Maha thing? Where's the thing? He was the single largest donor.
A McDonald's Big Mac.
Right, FEC records show its donors in the first half of October included $2 million from American Values, which is the super PAC that backed Kennedy's presidential fake campaign. Then $1 million from Patricia Duggan, who's a wealthy donor in Florida. $3 million from Musk on October 22nd. All right. And then they started spending money at the end of October, right before the election, to try to influence in, I'm sure, certain key swing states where there is a lot of anti-COVID lockdown sentiment. And they were battling, I'm guessing, probably the swing states where they're trying to get the people out about COVID stuff and about vaccine stuff, right? Safe and effective. So safe and effective. Our hearts swell with pride just to think about it. All right. So in the Post General, Maha Alliance spent another $2.5 million on media and almost $500,000 on fundraising, among other expenses, according to its filing. Now, money spent on fundraising, that also could be considered laundering very easily. Spending money to fundraise means what? You had some kind of an event that you spent all kinds of money and had all kinds of power brokers at to try to raise money where you may or may not have. Who knows? But that all gets kind of washed out and off the books. To me, that's laundering. You're laundering that money out by having a fancy event for all your friends. All right.
Well, you're probably getting taxed right off of that anyway. Probably charity or whatever, right?
Well, it's a super PAC, so I don't know how the taxes work for a super PAC. All right, but Musk gave more than $2.3 million to the Sentinel Action Fund on October 8th. That's a group that backed Trump, as well as backing Bernie Moreno in Ohio, Tim Sheehy in Montana, Dave McCormick in Pennsylvania, and others. All the Republicans that were running in close Senate races. And I think the Republicans won 2 out of 3. Go ahead.
Keep in mind that billionaires don't spend this kind of money without expecting some fucking return. Like,
oh, he's going to get multi times
just throwing it around, right? Like,
Yeah. All right. Now,
So-
now this one, this Sentinel Action Fund, is also great. It was launched 2 years ago by Heritage Action. That's your Project 2025 people. The advocacy arm of the Heritage Foundation, and described itself as one of the largest national networks of grassroots conservatives. If the grassroots started billionaires, sure. There's nothing grassroots about the Heritage Foundation. But Musk also injected more into a dark money group called Building America's Future that this fall funded super PACs backing Trump and opposing Harris. Nothing wrong with that, nothing illegal about it, other than the fact that he's trying to buy influence in our elections, but that's legal in this system, which needs to get destroyed.
Yep.
The group has over a dozen individual and corporate donors, one of whom, of course, is Musk, according to the New York Times. Now, I don't know how
New
they
York
got
Times.
that. It's unknown how much he gave to the group because it's a nonprofit, and it's not required to disclose information about its donors, which is one of the reasons why they do that. Is they like to wash money through that way because nobody can see it and how much. In the second half of October, though, the Trump campaign texted supporters that Musk would match donations to a Trump campaign joint fundraising committee up to the maximum direct contribution, and FEC data shows that he donated close to $1 million to the Trump 47 committee on October 21st. So they raised close to $1 million, and he matched that with close to $1 million. Again, remember, this guy is the richest guy in the world. This is all pennies to him. He's worth more than 9 figures. More than, 12 figures. More than $100 billion. And he's like spending $245 million. Less than a quarter of one of the 150 or so that he has, or allegedly. And again, it's going to get him a 10x minimum return on investment from all the companies that he has, in addition to having a seat right next to and the ear of Trump as the sitting president, and the influence of his buddies in the PayPal mafia. Let's talk about that afterwards too. Okay,
Have
and how
a good
the
time with your Bitcoin, your crypto, and everything else that you're playing with.
well, again, you've got that Sachs, who just got the crypto gig, or at least is going to be appointed the head of the crypto division, whatever they're going to call that. And then they're going to do the Bitcoin reserve, whatever the nonsense. It's just more money laundering. But in addition to the Sentinel Action Fund, he also gave to another super PAC backing Republican Senate candidates, also a previously disclosed donation, $10 million on October 1st. So again, like I said, he's not just giving this money to Trump. He's spreading it around to all the places to try to get Republican influence so that they could sweep all of Congress. All right, Senate Leadership Fund, the massive super PAC aligned with the GOP leaders. So now Mitch McConnell's going to get his little piece of the pie too.
Yeah,
Mitch the
Glitch. Get
Glitch.
his mind right.
All right. Some of Musk's other contributions this year reported in FEC filings include the following: $1 million on August 23rd to the Early Vote Action Super PAC. Okay, $825,000 to the Hispanic Leadership Alliance, a group aligned with Representative Tony Gonzalez from Texas, another Republican. I mean, he's aligning with one side here, which is interesting because normally businessmen buy off both sides.
Play both. Yeah.
All right. But he's just completely bought. He's all in on Trump. Now, what would have happened had he lost? I don't know. But luckily, nobody's going to need to know that. And luckily for him, at least, I kind of would have liked to see what would have happened. But yeah, he bought all in. All right. And these are, again, Texas. Remember where Tesla's based, headquartered. My guess is that would be the congressman for his district. All right. Nearly $311,000 to Representative Ken Calvert in a, again, toss-up district. That he just literally threw a nickel It's literally like from us throwing a nickel or a dollar and like donating to a cause. Yeah, it's 311,000 for us. That's a year, and we could hire 5 people and make a monstrous difference to people. For him, it's like nothing. Musk companies, Tesla and SpaceX, have combined for, here's the rub, $15.4 billion in government contracts over the past decade, according to the Times. So this is how he gets the return on investment. He continues to get his SpaceX contracts. He continues to get his Powerwall contracts. He continues to get Tesla contracts with cities and with the federal government. He's going to get his Twitter, whatever clone is already embedded with the CIA. And the Boring Company is another one that he owns. He's big in Dogecoin. He's I think the single largest holder of Doge, which they literally birthed from nothing, and he's got an ungodly amount of them that's now worth 42 cents. And if you do the multipliers on all of those and can multiply out what his ROI is on those and what he's worth now just in that, holy shit. It's frightening. All right. His net worth is put at $343 billion. $300 billion. I didn't even know it was that big. I thought it was about 180, which was what Bezos was when he got divorced, and he had to give like $100 billion to his ex. All right, but yeah, that's the greatest fucking in history, by the way. Is Lauren, whoever Jeffrey Bezos' ex. Yeah, she stuck with him for 20 some odd years, but Jesus, she got the biggest payoff ever. But yeah, I wanted to get back. Jeffrey Bezos. Yes, Jeffrey Bezos, that guy. It's so funny. My daughter,
CEO entrepreneur.
My daughter played a video that had that song in it, and I started singing it. She's like, "How do you know what that is, Daddy?" I'm like, "Oh, because Reef plays another show."
CEO entrepreneur, born in 1964. Jeffrey Bezos.
Awful, just awful. Yeah, but yeah, the PayPal Mafia guys. So again, you've got Pierre Omidyar, who literally put the Maidan coup in place and is the reason why we're in Ukraine and pushing on the door of Russia and having problems there. He's the founder of eBay.
Good friends with Peter Thiel and the PayPal Mafia, yes.
Not good friends with. He hired all of, because he founded eBay and then put all these fuckers in place to start PayPal, so that his people had a way, the eBay customers had a way to bank. David Sachs was part of that group. There are several others that are also now getting involved with the government, as well as with Trump and Musk and everybody else, that you're starting to see that come back around. But yes, it's Thiel, Musk, Sachs, and Omidyar are the large influencers that are within that PayPal Mafia segment. But they're not the only ones, like I said. They're just the ones that we know about, that we talk about all the time. But they're all worth billions. And they're all highly influential. On the other side, you've got Reid Hoffman. You've got an Eric Schmidt. And I watched a video today, the other day. It was on the Independent Review, had clipped Whitney Webb talking with James Corbett. And Whitney was saying that, look, while it appears that Peter Thiel and Eric Schmidt are at odds and on opposite sides of the coin, they are both members of the Bilderberg Group. So, again, it's like kayfabe. Which side are you going to align with, and which side? They're getting you to pick a side, which way, one way or another, whether that is Trump or Harris, or somewhere further down the line, Democrats or Republicans. Somewhere they want you to choose a binary, one or the other, because then you're stuck into a fight with the people that are on the other side, and they can continue to run away with the green and distract you. That's their whole game. They've been looting this system for our whole lives. I don't know how to stop it, but I know how to call it out and to say shit about it. I mean, it's where we have to start, is telling other people and letting them be aware. Right? It's stopping watching their public, their corporate news and buying into their corporate driven narratives. Right? It's fighting this whole system that we're stuck in any way that we can, to continue to stick little knives in the machine just wherever we can. We're not going to stop the machine, but we can fuck it up a little bit. All right. Fred Edward, that's funny. Choose INN, not TYT. Amen, brother, to that.
Yeah.
Do that.
Huh?
That's a good idea, folks. All right. And before we yes, well, again, we really appreciate everyone for being here and for supporting INN and independent media. TYT funded by Jeffrey Katzenberg. INN funded by you, everyone. And they can say they're funded by you, but they've got their corporate donors. Yeah. We do not. We've got you. We've got these people that are on that board. We've got Sean Miller, who hooks us up weekly. We got Charlie Mack, who hooks us up weekly. We got Anna Mayers, who hooks us up all the time. Kameshwari Kate hooked us up huge. Natalie Williams, oh my God, love you so much. Golden, like, there's so many great people on this list that are supporting this. Dr. Nick, Bad Cookies, Brett Wilkins, an Indie Media Award honoree on the list. And it looks like we got a founding member to Indie Media tonight. Thank you so much. Who was it? Let's see. New paid subscriber. We just got it on the books. And it is Kameshwari Kate. Thank you so much, Kate. You're the best. I love you. The Guardian is getting funding from Bill Gates, but we're not. So because of that, we rely on you. We are completely user funded, as well as, ourselves, that we can, whatever we can afford to put into this as well. But anything you can do to help would really be, great. Really appreciate that. We got some more support this week from a bunch of people, and that's awesome. We are so close to being able to pay off our Zago friends, and then we can pay off the Restream bill, which is the big one for the year. That's coming at the end of the month. And then we get into 2025 bills so that we can then do some really cool, fun stuff for the network and start helping some other people do some mutual aid stuff. The links to do so are right here. So if you are unable to totally get it, enjoy the stream, share the content, please, if you can, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, let people know about INN and let people know about this show. It really helps. And they can download it in podcasts and they can watch it on basically every platform, either live or on replay. We leave all the VODs up and we do clips via newsletter. There's a ton of ways to get the content. But these are the amazing people that have already supported INN. We love you. Thank you. Really appreciate you. Cash App, Ko-fi, PayPal, Patreon. And a monthly you can do at Patreon or at the INNnewsletter.com, which you can see down there. Somewhere down at the bottom, you'll see in a second. If you can, we love you all. And all these people have already taken care of INN the best they could and reached into their pockets and thrown a couple of bucks toward the network and toward the independent media they want to see. We don't have corporate funding. We have you. The easiest ways to do that are with Cash App, Ko-fi, PayPal, and Patreon. We have the INN newsletter, which you can subscribe to monthly or annually. We also, by the way, have some new merch at indienews.shop, INDIE news.shop. You'll see that in the scrolling ticker as well. So you can pick up merch and support us in that way as well. Hannah, I know, ordered a couple tank tops. Cookie said that he ordered a beanie, which I can't wait for him to run around with an INN beanie. Because God forbid anybody else had a narrative that's different from theirs. It's a real problem. So therefore, please support INN, support independent media, support the people that are countering that narrative, because it's everywhere, man. Thank you to everyone, really, for supporting independent media. We show this link one more time, this page one more time with the links. Cash App, Ko-fi, PayPal, Patreon, if you're able to. Also, INNnewsletter.com, you see there, and at the merch at indienews.shop, where you can pick up t-shirts and tank tops and beanies, and all of your merch Christmassy needs. And if there's something that you want to see that I haven't made, that we haven't made merch wise, I'm willing to do that too. Just tell me what you want to see and I can make it. Support independent media because we need it more than.
There you go.
What? Oh, my thing, right. Support independent media. We need it more than ever. I love you all and I really appreciate all of you.